Carlos, can you hear me? I see we went live. I can't see if anyone is currently attending or not.
Yeah, you're live and we're all set to go. So whenever you're ready, click present.
Okay.
What?
Okay. Do we have people in attendance already?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome to Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center. My name is Mr. Nipper, and I'm a case manager here in the adult education program. I primarily work with the basic education students, and you are here because you're new to the school, and this is an orientation for you to help guide you through the procedures, the practices, best practices, and everything associated with the schools. Whether you are a remote student or you are doing in-person learning at the time, this orientation will be great for you. So I'm going to get started. Welcome again to Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center, where passion, patience, perseverance, persistence leads to endless possibilities. Okay? This is adult education in District 79, and we are affiliated with the New York City Department of Education. Our school is located at 212 West 120th Street in Harlem, and our phone number is here on the screen. Please feel free to take a screenshot if you need to, if you could, so that you can have this information so that you can reference it later. Excuse me. Our phone number is on the screen, 212-666-1919, and we're close to trains on 125th Street Station. The A, the C, the the A and the C trains are closest to us. Our students at Mid Manhattan, we enjoy trips to museum visits. We have special guest speakers come to the school. We have family health fairs and information on career opportunities. Our only requirement is that you are over 21 years old and that you live in one of the five boroughs in New York City in order to be a part of our program. So you must live in one of the five boroughs, and you must also be at least 21 years old in order to enter our program. Our basic education for task preparation, we have ESL classes, and we also have CTE classes, and they're held at different times on different days. This is our general schedule. Monday through Friday, we have classes that start from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, we have classes that also go on from 9 a.m. and stop at 12 p.m. Monday through Friday, we have classes that start at 12:30 in the afternoon to 3:30 p.m. And then we have a night schedule for students that can only attend classes in the evening. And those classes are held from Tuesdays to Thursdays from 5:40 to 9 o'clock. We also accommodate students that can only come to school on the weekends, and that's Saturday classes between 8:30 and 3:30. School registration is easy. We have an inquiry form that we fill out. Now, because we went remote for remote learning because of COVID-19, we have a form that you fill out to register. And this inquiry form asks you to fill out your first name, last name, date of birth, your gender, your race, ethnicity, however you identify yourself, and a few other questions, personal information that gets filled out here. Currently, we're not taking social security numbers online for security measures, but we ask that you fill out this form as thoroughly as possible. If you have friends or family that would like to come to the school, you can send a link to them so that they can fill it out so that they can become a student. Now, once you have been filled out the registration form and you have, once you filled out the registration form and a case manager contacts you and asks you what's your schedule, what schedule would you like to come to classes for, we're going to send you an email that has a special D79 account set up just for you. And it's usually your first name dot last name or your last name dot first name. And excuse me one sec. Sorry. And it is you're going to get a D79 email account, and this name is usually your last name, first name, and dash D at D79.com. Every student gets a D79 account, and you have to use it in order to access your Google Classroom. I'm going to play this video. It's about 9 minutes long, and this video is going to outline exactly how to set up your D79 account once you get that email from a case manager. So please watch carefully. Subtitles, we're going to click the CC so that you can read along. Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center, 2020 to 2021 school year. Okay, I'm going to restart the video. Just bear with me, I'm sorry. Clicking on the subtitles. If you're watching this video, you have probably been accepted into a class at Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center for the fall 2020 semester, 2021 school year. Please watch this video for some instruction on how to navigate your class. Please note that these instructions are for students who are using a desktop computer, a laptop computer, or a tablet. Though instructions that are specific to cell phones begin at the 7-minute mark, I would encourage students to view this video in its entirety, as it contains information that is useful for students regardless of which device you are using. You've received an email that looks like this. This email will tell you your class schedule, as outlined here, along with your teacher's names. Highlighted in yellow, you're going to see an email address for what's called your D79 account. Please note that your teacher is going to be communicating with you through your D79 account only. So I'm going to explain on how to set that account up. Here, the first thing you need to do is go to google.com on your browser. When you get to Google, you may notice in the upper right-hand corner a blue box with the words "Sign In." Please click on that box if you see it in the upper right-hand corner side of your screen. You may already have a Gmail account. If you do, you may notice that in the upper right-hand corner, instead of seeing a blue button with the word "Sign In," there will be a colored circle with the letter in the middle. If you see this in the upper right-hand corner, please click on the colored circle. Once you click on the colored circle, a drop-down menu should appear. One of the options on this drop-down menu should be the option to add another account. Please click on this option. Whether you've clicked on the blue Sign In button or on the colored circle in the upper right-hand side of the screen, you should now see a login screen. you will be asked to log in with your username. Your username is highlighted in yellow in the first email that was sent to you by Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center. It will probably be made up of your last name dot first name at d79.com. This is just like logging into any other Gmail address account. Next, the computer will ask you to enter your password. If this is your first time logging in to your D79 account, your default password will be Google123 with a capital G. Please make sure that the first G in Google is capitalized and that there are no spaces between any of the characters. Then click Next. On this screen, you will be asked to accept the terms and conditions of these services provided by Google. You must accept these terms if you're going to participate in a class. Please be rest assured that your privacy and your information is safe and will not be used with a third party. Next, you will be prompted to create a brand new password, one that only you know. The staff and teachers of Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center will not have access to this password at all. So please be advised to use a password that you will remember easily and one that you will have accessible at all times. Now you should be able to access your D79 email. Please remember that this email is not to be confused with your personal Gmail account. Anytime your teacher corresponds with you, they will be contacting you via your D79 email only. So it is very important that when you come in, you make sure that you are logged into your D79 account. You want to be on the lookout for an email that's titled Class Invitation. When you see this email, please click on it. When you open your class invitation, you should see your teacher's name and a blue button with the word Join. Please click on the blue button that says Join, and you will be directed to your Google Classroom. In the next part of this video, I will explain to you how to navigate your Google Classroom. This is what your Google Classroom will look like. It's very important that you report to your Google Classroom on the appointed day and times that your classes meet. When you arrive to your Google class, make sure that you click on the Meet link. This is where the teachers will meet with the students virtually. After your first day of class, you may find that the easiest way to access your Google Classroom is to go to the google.com directly. Then in the upper right-hand corner, click on the 9 dots known as the waffle. That will give you a drop-down menu. When you see the drop-down menu, you can scroll down and select the Google Classroom. That will give you a more direct link to your teacher's classroom. Make sure you log into your D79 account. Don't forget that you must be logged into your D79 account. You will not have access to the classroom if you're not logged into your D79 account. This next section of the video is for those students who are accessing their D79 account and Google Classroom by their cell phone, be it an iPhone or a Samsung. The very first step you want to make is to find the Gmail icon on your smartphone. It's a standard icon that comes with most iPhones and Samsungs alike. You can click on that. If you do not have a Gmail account, this should be a fairly simple procedure for you. All you have to do is log in with your D79 username and password. If you already have a Gmail account that is linked to your cell phone, the process is a little bit more involved. Once you click on your Gmail icon in the upper right-hand corner, you should see a colored circle, the one pointed out in this clip. Click on that colored circle. A drop-down menu should appear that will give you the option to add another account. You can click on Add Another Account and then log in with your D79 username and password. Any student who is participating in a class through a smartphone or a tablet is strongly encouraged to download the Google Classroom app. You can go to Google, into Google Classroom, in the search engine, and you should find a link to download or install the Google Classroom app onto your cell phone or onto your tablet. You'll find that this will simplify the experience of participating in class. Questions or concerns? Email us. We at Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center recognize that it's a challenging way to participate in classes. If you have any questions or concerns regarding any of the processes discussed in this video, feel free to email your case manager or your teacher. Their email addresses can be found on the initial email that was sent to you from Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center. We hope to provide you with a positive and pleasant learning experience in this most trying time. Excuse me. Okay, so let's get back to the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, very important information. If you have a personal Gmail account, you want to sign out of it completely, or you will not be able to get into your D79 email account. The state mandates that all of our students have and use a D79 account. So again, please, this is very important. You cannot get into your Google Classroom if you do not log out of your personal Gmail account. 85% of the time, those are the problems that people are having. Oh, I can't get into my D79. I cannot get into the D79 account. You must log out first of your personal Gmail account. So once you log out of that personal account, then you can add a new account and put the D79 information in, okay? Now, adult basic education, the road to obtaining your TAS, high school equivalency diploma. This year, there are many ways. This year, there are many new additional ways to obtain your TAS diploma. OACE offers 4 different pathways. You could pass the task 5 subtests. So the task is comprised of a reading, writing, math, science, and social studies test. So it's 5 different exams. So if you pass all 5 exams, you have your high school equivalency diploma. If you have 24 college credits, it's possible to apply to obtaining a TAS diploma. Let's say that you were in a college-ready program in high school where you were able to obtain 24 college credits, and you can apply for your HSC or high school equivalency diploma. It's possible. GED, if you pass any parts of the GED from 2003 to 2013, they're still valid, okay? And if you pass any parts of the GED, they're still valid. You just have to pass those that you haven't passed yet. Let's say, for instance, you think you passed your GED between 2003 and 2013, but you can't produce the test scores. You may use up to 4 passing GED test scores with a combination of passing 1 task exam. So if in the past you passed science, social studies, and reading, in the past between 2003 and 2013, and you now only need to take those two that you did not pass, okay? And you can still get your high school equivalency diploma. A recent addition is a Regents pathway, and students may use a passing New York City Department of Education Regents score in place of a task exam. Let's say that you've taken Regents exam in high school. You've taken Regents exams in high school, and you're looking to get your high school equivalency because you never graduated. If you pass the science Regents, if you pass the social studies Regents, if you pass the math Regents, any one of those would count toward going towards your high school equivalency diploma. You would just have to take one task subject to get your high school equivalency. So let's say you pass all of the Regents, you still have to take one task exam in order to get your high school equivalency. And you get to pick the exam that you take, okay? If you've passed all 5 Regents exams in those areas. Your task assessment coordinator is Ms. Mustafa. She's in room 300. She's working remotely from home now. Her email address is here. Screenshot this if you need to. I'll leave it up for the next 5 seconds. Okay, moving on. Excuse me. Have you taken the GED already? Did you pass any parts of it? If you did, please raise your hand. Now, I cannot see the students right now. I can only see my full screen, but I'm sure Carlos is watching. If you see anybody has raised their hand, please let me know. And we can help you apply the GED subtest towards receiving your task exams if you have passed any parts of the GED. Even if you don't remember, we can fill out an application to find out. The Regents pathway. Do you believe that you passed any Regents when you attended high school? If you did, raise your hand. Mr. Carlos is watching to see if you've raised your hand. We can help you apply for the Regents exams. We can help you apply towards putting those Regents exams toward receiving your task or HSC diploma. Now, you could receive an HSC waiver. Now, what is a waiver? A waiver, because of COVID-19, students in the 2020 school year, at the end of the 2020 school year, the mayor's office decided that they would pass students along, regardless if they passed the Regents, regardless if they passed their exams, they would pass those students along that the teachers gave a waiver to. So the teacher basically signed off saying, okay, this student was on task to pass in all subjects. This student was on task to graduate. So they gave them a waiver. So adult ed said, well, if regular school could get a waiver, why can't we get a waiver? So we brought the case up to the Department of Education, and they agreed. They said, you know what, it's not fair to just give it to the children. We can give it to the adults as well. So you were eligible for the waiver if you already passed 3 or 4 subjects on the task or the GED. So let's say you passed any 3 subjects. Let's just say that you passed reading, you passed social studies, and you passed science. So you only needed math and writing in order to get your HSC, but you passed 3. As long as you passed 3 and you attended classes with us, and you completed the necessary academic work in your class, and your teacher says, you know what, George attended all my classes, George was handing in his work, George did everything he was supposed to do, I'm going to sign this waiver saying George does not have to take those other 2 exams. He was on task to pass them. So we would give you a waiver. So in other words, you wouldn't have to take those other 2 exams or the other 1 exam that you were missing, as long as you were in class actively engaging in the class and doing all of this, the teacher's work assignments. You were able to get your HSC diploma. Only during COVID time. And I believe that only goes up till June. I believe after June, after we get to next month, I believe it's over. But I can get more clarity on that. You receive credit for passing Regents exams. We talked about this. Your passing scores from Regents exams taken in high school may be substituted for a corresponding past subject. The Regents ELA exam may be used in place of both the reading and writing past subjects. Okay, so if you pass the Regents in the ELA, it counts as two exams, the reading and the writing. Don't forget, attendance is very important. When you log into your Google Classroom, you must fill out your daily attendance. Make sure you let your teacher know that you're there. Okay, so attendance is very important. That's how our program gets funded. Now, we request that if you do commit to attending the class, you give it your all. You should be in class for every class session, the entire session. If you have an occasional appointment, please let your teacher know that you will be absent. Because we understand, you guys are adults and things happen. You must also complete what is called a work time record provided by your teacher bi-weekly. The purpose of this document is to give you credit for the work that you complete. If you sit in class for 2 weeks and you are not filling out a work time record, you're not getting any credit for having been in the class. So it's important that you fill out this student work time record saying that you were in class, and it outlines everything for you. It asks you which teacher, but you have to fill out the work time record. It's very important to receive credit for being there. The school dress code. Okay. Now, most of us are all virtual now. We're starting to go back in person now. Now, the dress code is as follows. Clothing that is appropriate for the virtual classroom. Polo shirts, button-down shirts, blouses, t-shirts, sweatshirts, or sleeveless dresses, or shirts with straps, no less than 3 inches wide. Shirts with straps, no less than 3 inches wide. Our students are still expected to dress appropriately during their virtual class session. The following dress code will apply. Students will wear a t-shirt, a polo shirt, or a sweatshirt. Students will wear appropriate shorts, pants, or skirts, and the sweats in good condition are allowed. Clothing items not allowed. We do not allow tank tops. We do not allow halter tops. No spaghetti strap tops. Any shirt or blouse exposing any area above the waist. Any shorts or skirts that could be considered revealing or distracting. Any item of clothing with inappropriate writing. In exchange, advertising alcohol or drugs, etc. We don't want to see a weed shirt or a Ciroc shirt. Okay, so make sure that you abide by those rules. While the dress code for the virtual classroom is much more relaxed than the traditional school uniform, students are expected to dress and be groomed in a respectful and appropriate manner. Mid-Manhattan Adult Learning Center offers many workshops and podcasts to meet the needs of the students. We hope to see you there. So please, there will be a lot of emails circulating around about workshops. Your teachers will post links inside the classroom about workshops and podcasts that we have. Please come out, enjoy them. I have started my own podcast, or I call it a interactive resume writing workshop, and I give that workshop every Friday. And we're going from beginning to end, from creating a resume from start to finish. If you have a current resume that you want to update, you can do that as well there. But it's an interactive session where we'll be going through examples, live examples, writing things up, using different jobs, different work experience to give you an idea of the best way to write a resume. So that's just my podcast. But there's going to be many other podcasts, many other workshops that you can attend. Please just look out for them in your classrooms. We hope to see you there. That's going to be the end of this presentation. Mr. Carlos, are you there? Do we have any questions in the chat box?
No, I think we're all set. The one thing I will say is that for any of our viewers, attendance is important, and that includes this orientation session. So if you haven't identified yourself, please type your name and the teacher's name in the chat box. Another thing I would add is that tomorrow we have our virtual fair. So I hope everybody joins us for that. There was an email blast that should have gone out earlier today from, I believe, Ms. Salcedo and from the teachers. So just keep an eye out. A live update from Ms. Salcedo. The email blast will be going out later on today. It's being worked on as we speak. And for those students that are live in the building, they'll be watching in the classrooms.
Okay, great. Awesome. Awesome. So again, like mentioned earlier, if you have any questions or concerns, you can email the case manager that has emailed you the invite to the classroom, or you can email your teacher directly and we will find the answers for you. Okay, so everybody have a great afternoon. Again, my name is Mr. Nipper. I'm the case manager at Mid-Manhattan, and I will see you around the school. Have a great afternoon.